Hi everyone, it's Lillian here coming to you from Alberta, Canada, where it is windy, blustery, snowy, rainy. The roads are like ice rinks and it is just a perfect evening to be inside. And I'm really glad that I didn't have to go anywhere today. Our sidewalk looks like it has about this much ice on it. And that's just our sidewalk, let alone the roads. So if you had to go out today, I'm glad that you're home safe and sound. Hi Judy, welcome. And I'm glad also that many of you are working from home right now. Hi everybody, Catherine, Roz, excellent. So glad to have you all here. So I wanted to just hop on tonight. And I don't know about you, but I love to go through the catalog with other people. They see things I don't see, and it's kind of like, did you see this? I love that. You do? I didn't. Oh, why do you love that? And then, and you see stuff that you didn't notice. And so tonight I thought, if you have your catalogs and I have mine, and we go through it together, and we can do a whole lot of, did you see this? Did you notice this? I like this. So I'm hoping that you do a lot of that kind of commenting in the comments and talk back and forth about what you like and what you noticed, and maybe what you didn't notice and what you're noticing for the first time tonight. Every time I go through a catalog, I notice something different. So let's go down to my desk and just take a look-see down there. And before we get started, I've got what we made last week sitting on there. And that is because we did, let's just see if I can get this a little more centered. I did do a random draw of all the names. So everybody who commented, they got their name put in a draw for last week's project. And for those of you who weren't here last week, it was a fun project using two basic white envelopes and with little pockets like that. That could be good for photos or gift cards or notes or quotes or a combination of it all. And the name that got drawn this week is Diana C. And I see Diana just popped on. So congratulations, Diana. Roz, you're saying your bank account gets a little smaller. I know, especially with this catalog. This catalog, we were just talking, I was talking with some other demonstrators and they were saying it doesn't seem to be one runaway item in here. It seems like everything is liked. It says strong catalog. Everything is so nice in here. So let's just take a really good look at it. And we're going to start by just looking, and I've turned my lights away from here so that hopefully there's not as much glare. And let's take a look just at inside the front cover to begin with. All right, so over on, I'm just trying to make sure that I am actually playing. Over here, right down here, it says, be the creative spark. And it's just a little encouragement to share your creations and then put the hashtag share Stampin' Up on it. And then we get to see, and then if you enter that hashtag in a Google search, all the different samples will come popping up, and it is so neat to see. The other thing is I always look for these icons. These icons are important. You will see them all through the catalog, and of course this 10% means that you can buy that item as a bundle and save 10%. The little clock, it means that it's a quick and easy one. Distinctive is a type of stamp. Mini means their dies will fit in the mini, cut and emboss, and of course English and French are available for those items. So always be aware of that. And I still, there we go. And here we go right here. And remember, there are samples everywhere. Here's one sample that I don't think I've shown you with the rainbow one. So here it is right here. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So your catalog is not only your shopping store, but it's also your idea place as well. And then the other thing is watch what else is on the page. Over here is the Stamparatus, and that's a really neat tool. And if you want to know more about that, let me know. It's in the annual catalog, and we will take a look-see at that if you'd like. All right. So I'm just sharing this to my page as we turn the page over here. So here is where we find kits. Now, kits are not listed individually in the catalog. That's because kits are only available while supplies last. And so they're always bringing new ones in and adding when others sort of go out. So when you go to my website and you click on Shop Now and click on Kits, you will see what's available. And there's a brand new one that's available right now. That's amazing. It's a really neat birthday one. So it's not even in this picture. So go take a look at that. The other kit that is a subscription kit, so you can get it either for 1 month, or you can order 3 months or 6 or 12. Now, right now during celebration, if you order the 3 or the 6 or the 12 month, you can earn free celebration things. So just be aware of that. And it's definitely a fun thing to do. Now, as we look at this page, I'm now on page 8 for those of you following along. I've shown you quite a bit from this, but I just want to mention that when you see the word sweet and you see a whole page of samples, these things all work together. And if you like everything on this page, instead of taking time to enter each individual number, you can enter this one number right here, and then all these will automatically be ordered for you. Now, did you notice something? That sweet, if you liked everything on that page, is $117.50. You just need to spend another $2.50 and you would get 2 $60 level celebration items or one $121. So just something to be aware of. I am absolutely loving these embellishments, and this ribbon is so soft. We used them in Stampin' Time not very long ago, last week. So we'll move on. Do you remember the hybrid embossing folder where it cut and embossed and did all kinds of fancy things that I showed at Christmas time, the merriest moments? It was a Christmas one. Well, now there's a heart one, a Valentine's, anniversary, engagement, anything you would use hearts for, and it's part of a bundle. And these here too, they're for all kinds of those kinds of occasions. And so definitely a wonderful thing to explore. And now that you know how the hybrid embossing folder works, because it cuts and embosses at the same time if you want, it is absolutely gorgeous in real life. You are right, Roz. So I'm glad you're all pointing out what you like. That's good. Now let's take a look here. Did you notice that some of these words are shaded around them? Does anybody know why? That's because there are dies that would cut out those words, and there are dies that would cut out these, and they'll do the same when there's punches. So if you notice that, well, I'm looking at the stamp set, and why are some things different colors? That's because that's a little clue that there's a punch or a die that goes with it. So just something to be aware of there. Then we've got this page here, and there's our clock. Now, I made some cards using this design, and I shared them on Facebook, I don't know, last week, I think. I made it in blues. I don't know about you. Like, I've got a fresh catalog I'm showing you tonight, but I write messages to myself all over my working catalog, and ideas I want to try, adaptations I want to do. So that's something to think about. Now, when you're looking at the page, remember to look all around the page. Look at these little neat things here. They're called frosted beads. They look wonderful in the gumball machine, but they would look great in a shaker card, or you could glue dot them on. And then there's these here. So look at everything on the page. Take a look around. Now, this is a suite. That is what we call a mega suite. And why do we call it a mega suite? It has 2 bundles that go with it. Now, do you have to buy them both? No, I only have this one right now. But you have both that work with it. So they show the samples here they show what you could get if you order the suite, but then they show the stamp sets up close, a little more detail here in real life. And then down here they show the dies, and then they suggest that you turn to where the dies are at the back and see the dies a little larger as well. So let me just show you. I don't have tons of this, but I have been in a swap, and so I did show you this made with this gorgeous paper. The paper was actually painted, and then photographs were taken of the painted tulips, and there's all different kinds. And then what you can do with these dies is build three-dimensional flowers. And I have to admit, when I first looked at it, I was intimidated. I wasn't so sure about it. Then I received this card in a swap, and I got it from Shelley Out, I think it is. And she made it look so gorgeous, and she made it look quite easy too. And since I've watched videos, it is quite easy, and I will be showcasing this. But she used, I don't know if you can see, she used the shimmer vellum for the outer layers, and then some designer paper here. She used some of the new ribbon that's showcased there, some of the new paper, and it's just a beautiful a card like that. So that ribbon comes like this, but you can color it with your blends and make it any color you want. So you can just, if I wanted it in Melon Mambo, I could just rub my blends along it and go like that. It is a beautiful, beautiful card. I'm pretty thankful for that card. The other thing on here I wanted to remind you of, now I've shown this to you before, is the brass butterflies. They are so nice and flat. They have adhesive on the back, so they're really easy to put on a card. And I've used them a lot already. So let's move on here. And the rainbows, I've shown you lots of rainbow stuff. And again, notice the colors around, so the die holds that, or their punches punch that out. And this, I almost missed that punch the first few times, and when I looked in the index I noticed it. And these I almost missed too. So these are really neat sequins, so that you might be interested in. So do, like I say, do look all around the page. And then of course I've shown you so many things with the ladybugs. But did you notice these little Stampin' Spots, they're called? Now, they are just miniature of our stamp pads. And then there's this little icon. It's got like a shopping basket with a heart. And that means it's either in the annual catalog or on the website. And this is on the website. And you can get a set of 8 of these. And if you go and enter this number on my in your shopping cart, you don't have to buy it, but you can certainly, that brings it up and you can see what it is. And there are 8 different colors that are pretty popular to use. And then you can build your colors that way if you want. They work just the same for inking. It's just that because they're small, you have to ink more often, but I would buy a re-inker as well. And so that whenever they start to run out, you would be ready to go. So let's move on here. I could stop and spend time talking about every one of these. The suites are outstanding. This is a very Asian feeling suite, but still it's very elegant. All of the designer paper, one side has gold running through it. These, I've gone through at least one package, maybe more. Just gorgeous stuff. A nice soft satiny ribbon and a beautiful stamp set there. So let me see. I think I have a sample of that. So let me just bring that in. So here's a sample that I received from Patty Wright. So she's used some of the designer paper in the background and then the stamps. And she's got a bit of gold on the edge of the moon there. So that is gorgeous. And then on days like today, this looks heavenly, makes you want to do a tropical getaway for sure. And again, this is another swap card I received from Cynthia Willis, and she's used here, this is paper I'm going to show you, I've shown you before. I'll show you where it is in the catalog, but this is designer paper. She did not paint this. It looks like she did, but it's that designer paper, and she's just added this, and it just gives it that really special look. So let's continue to move along here. Here, Stampin' Up! Even teaches you a little bit as you go through the, here. You're loving the show and tell. Oh, Sue, this is your type of thing, isn't it? I'm so glad. So here's a stay simple or step it up. So Stampin' Up! Really likes to try to meet the needs of any stamper, whether you like to keep it simple or whether you like it, I like to play around a little bit, or I like fancy schmancy kind of things. So they've shown the same project, stepping it up. So this the quick and easy here, and then each step along the way. That's always a neat way to look at things too and think, well, which one would I like to make? So there's that. And there's this, again, a teachable moment showing you that you can run several dies through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine at the same time and save a little bit of time and energy. So just look at all those little clues as you're going through. Every time I see something new. Again, just beautiful samples, looks very springy. Here's a suite that I just fell in love with. I have I'm actually getting ready to do a class on this suite. I did the rainbows class, and I'm getting ready to do a class on this. I've got a bit more to do on that. So let me just show you a few things from here. One of the things are these neat, what they call faux sea glass. So they are embellishments that come. And they look just like the sea glass you would find if you were walking by the sea. And they have the 3 colors, but you can take your blends and color them and make them other colors too. And we were doing this in stamping time this week. So I've used these a lot too. They're a favorite embellishment. So that's where that is. This is a gorgeous ribbon. It is a wider ribbon, and it's quite thick, but it's so soft. It's almost velvety, but it isn't. And again, you can color this with your blends. I've seen some people color the stripes for just a little bit. You can do all kinds of things with this. So it is a very gorgeous ribbon. So here's one sample that I've done with this. So I stamped the big leaf and embossed it onto designer paper, and then splattered a bit of Wink of Stella on and just did that. I wanted to show some samples that were maybe a little bit different. So this one here, I took the Heart and Home, I think, designer paper it's called. One side is all wood grain anyway, and just use the silver foil paper that carried over from the holiday catalog, and very simple like that. And then that's part of the die, so I did that one. And then I had to do a black and white one too. And the dies, I don't know if you can see here, there's some dies in there that do that little etching mark, and I did that here and there instead of using an embossing folder on that. So those are just a few things that I have played with that. There's lots more to come. Now, this is vellum, but it's printed vellum, and there are some samples coming up where that people have used that. I have still got that on my wish list. It's on my next shopping list that's going in. So just lots of fun there. But if you look here, if you look very closely, if you've got your catalog on page 32, you'll see it almost looks like writing in the background. That's the printed vellum. And it's very pretty. And then you start to look at more samples, and you'll find some of that vellum on all kinds of different projects in the catalog. So there we go, like that. And just trying to make sure I'm not missing any of the samples that I have waiting for you. This stamp set here is a standalone. It's a distinctive. So that means when it stamps, it will stamp dark and light and different shades in between. It's a gorgeous stamp set, but I fell in love even more so with the words. I love the font. I love what the words say. They cover so many things. And then look at this, sending a card instead of a text. So there's the Stamparatus in action again. And so you can see a little bit of a teaching moment there as well. This bundle here is all about the daffodils, and then there's designer paper that you can get free in the celebration catalog. So this bundle is $75.50. If you bought the bundle, you could get the paper free. And on Thursday morning, I'm going to do a walk through the celebration catalog. I'm not going to keep you here all night going through the two catalogs. I thought I would do the walkthrough through the celebration one on Thursday morning. So 10:30 Thursday morning, I'll see you back here. So now we've got some seaside ones, and you can build scenes like that. And you're saying, where did that come from? That fence kind of thing. Well, just be patient. We will get there. Before we get there, we're going to stop for a moment right here at Amazing Silhouettes. Now, when we went to our Stampin' UP convention, it was online, but it was called On Stage. We received this stamp set as one of our items that that are free. So what it is it's got this etching in the background, and then the images are like they're like silhouetted. And then when you add the dies, the die has words. So let me just show you what I mean by that. So I took this stamp here and just stamped it a couple of times. I put something from Very Versailles in the background, and there's just a little simple card using that stamp set right there. Then in the swap that I was in, so swap is where I would make a certain number of cards, and so would the other people. Say there were 10 people in the swap. Each of us would make 10 cards, and then we'd trade them like you used to bake hockey cards. And then we would, I just dropped a butterfly here. So when you look at this, just imagine it with another butterfly, and then we get samples back. So somebody in the swap chose this. They did heat embossing on that vellum. Now, the vellum is stuck down, but I don't know if you can see, but it is the printed vellum. Then they did the thanks and the butterfly. Now, the thanks is that shiny paper. It was back a ways, but I'll show it to you in the index. And then the designer paper they used was from the Symbols of Hope. It was the one with the gold flecks in it, or gold anyway. So tons of stuff happening here. Then the bronze butterflies. So let me talk a little bit more about these dies. It has some different words in it, and one of the dies cuts out the thin word, and one of the dies cuts out the same word but thicker. So you can layer them up like that if you like, and it's like you've got three-dimensional words then. You can offset them a little bit like she did here, and that's just so neat. So you can use them alone or put them together. So that's my little chat in that area. And again, we'll just go along here. This is another suite that I definitely am going to be teaching a class on. It's called The New Horizons, and so this is one that I ordered the whole suite when I ordered. So I used the magic suite number. This is the one where the paper I've shown you before. It's that watercolor look, and it's you could stand alone. You just stamp some words on it and away you go. A great stamp set, great dies. Now I don't know if you can see here, and did I remember to put, yes I did. So but you can layer, you've got your snow for the mountains, and you've got your mountains, so you can layer them. You've got your fence there, you've got some silhouettes here, these little houses. I don't, if you're looking at page 43, they would make great new home cards or something like that. Then there's a bundle of ribbons, so it comes 2 ribbons in one package, and they are gorgeous. So it's Misty Moonlight and Petal Pink, and that paper is to die for. Yes, yes. I think there are several papers in here that are to die for, and this is one of them. So this ribbon is narrow, it's soft, you can do all kinds of things with it. It's such pretty ribbon. There we go. So there's the ribbon. Let's look at the embellishments because I love them. Remember the sea glass ones? Well, these ones are pebbles. So they are like this, and they add, you know, if you were making a scene at the beach. Now, if you look at this picture here and this picture here, you can see them. They've used the pebbles here. That just makes it part of the scenery. So they're just so much fun to use. They're fabulous. Now, I showed this card before, but all I did was cut the paper into some pieces, put it on the card, stamped on it, and there it is. And there is the outline of the mountain, right like that. So let's look at another one. This one here, I cut the piece. I think that would have been 3 3/4 by 5. I cut out that mountain shape and just put it just plopped it right down on. One of the shapes in the dies is this. I used it for a speech balloon. It's supposed to be, I think, water or something, but I used it for that. Stamped on it, added a few embellishments, had enough scrap paper left over after cutting this, because the paper is 6 by 6, to do this and then to do the envelope. So with one 6 by 6 piece of designer paper, I've got it all ready to go just like that. So there is another sample like that. And I'm going to show one more sample using this in just a moment. But we're going to go on now. This, in case you're wondering what these are, you can stamp these images in your dark ink, like your basic gray or memento black, and then you can just stamp this in a light color over top and have them instantly colored, and they look really neat. I've seen some great samples done like that. So let's keep going. So right here on this page, if you'll notice this one here, again, I received this in a swap, but the paper in the background, because the die cuts out the silhouette, the paper in the background is that same designer paper we were playing with just a couple of the New Horizons designer paper. And this sample was done by Kathy Lovell. So just another great sample there. And you might notice these little circles here. You might say, well, that's interesting. Well, just keep those little circles in your mind, because I'm going to show you how they did that in a minute. Because this page here is another with paper to die for. And again, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous suite. It brings in our geometric shapes, which are huge right now in fashion and design and home decor. So we have triangles, we have rectangles, we have circles, but on this one we have more circles and we have hexagons and that kind of thing. And then we have hexagon embellishments, and we have all of these that go with it. This designer paper is a brand new size. It's 4 inches by 6 inches. Again, it's got gold on one side, and I've shown you different things. Here is, I just cased this one here and did it like that. Whoops, helps if I have it right side up. So there we are. There's one like that. And I used these dies and just did this one here. So there it is, a totally different look with the designer paper just right there. And I cased that from somebody, Maureen Olson. And then I said, remember I asked you to look at this picture here? Those circles, they cut out a bunch of those circles and then made a design and stamped on them, and that's how they made that card. So just a bunch of circles layered on top of cardstock and trimmed. So, oh, I was going to show you that, and I put it somewhere else. Because I'm getting ready for another class. So, but this is only a strip of them because I've used so many. But you've got the Just Jade. What's the other color? Let's see, Just Jade, and I'll have to look it up. I usually have it written down. And there's black and one of our pinks. I think it might be Blushing Bride. But they're, again, fun shapes. I've used these a lot with that little robot that I've been using so much. So just just some interesting new things that just work differently, and I don't know, they're just all kinds of fun. So let's turn over the page again here. So this is where you see the stamp set that goes with those dies, and some of that. I fell in love with the font here and the words. I do like my word stamps. And then here's another Step It Up one, how you can start with simple and make it as complicated as you want. So then right here, you might say, oh, I'm not so sure about this page. You're going to love this page. And I'm hoping that down the road, I'll be able to do a class on this page too. This grouping. So you've got this stamp set, and I do like some stamp sets that have the nice big bold words, and that is nice. And then you've got these dies here. Now you remember Slimline cards are the tall, slim cards, and these are designed they're designed for Slimline cards. Can you only use them on Slimline cards? Oh no, because you could cut them off and make them for regular card size too. So there are two dies that are going to cut this design and this design, and then there's a couple of dies that cut what look like flaps, and we will talk about those in a whole other class. But let me just show you what I made. This kind of card, only instead of cutting the words apart, I left them together. I made it in Pacific Point, which is a color I don't use a whole lot, but I just seem to be starved for bright colors right now. And then inserted Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, and Coastal Cabana, and then used, embellishments from the annual catalog. I'm blanking out right now. And then some of you might say, and then I did this on the inside, because when you cut this out, you've got extras. So I just did that on the inside. I thought it was kind of fun. Now, some of you are saying, what about envelopes for Slimline cards? Well, a regular legal size envelope, I think it's an A10 it's called, these will fit in there. But if you really want to have fancy schmancy, look over here. Remember, look at the whole page. There are envelopes in the catalog to go with the Slimline cards. And they come, there's 15 in a package, and there are 3 designs. Pacific is your all-time favorite color, Sue? Do you know what? It's a color I so seldom use, and it's so many people's favorite color. I don't know why I don't use it. When I use it, I love it. So I'm glad I hear your all-time favorite color tonight. So the envelopes, there are 15, so there are 5 of each color. These are the colors. They're neutral colors so that they can go with a variety of things. They've got the fancy flap on them, and then inside it's the same design, but it matches whatever envelope it is, and the white has black. So just a neat way to make your card look even more special, in case you were wondering about that. So, anybody getting tired yet? What are some things that you are liking in this catalog? Let me know. So this stamp set here, I just wanted to point it out partly because of the name, and I'm going to not say it properly. I know, ranunculus, and so that is actually this flower here. And you know what? It loves to grow in Alberta because it likes cool weather. So it's a springtime flower, a little bit like a marsh marigold, I think, but makes beautiful cards. I've seen some great things done, and I do have one sample here of it. So stamped here, and then we've got the new shimmer paper, and then look at this. That's some of that new vellum paper with some black writing on it. So just a little sliver of it. Looks so good. So, I wish you could see where I'm throwing things right now. It's a big mess. So this is something that I missed several times through. In fact, I found it in the index before I found it here. And this is called the Stripes and Splatters 3D embossing folder. And they are the narrow ones that fit into the mini cut and emboss. Now I find these easy, even though they're narrow, to just do twice on a piece of cardstock, and usually they're pretty forgiving. So this is what they look like. One is splattery, just like it says, and one has these sort of random stripes. So what does that look like when it's embossed? Well, the random stripe one, this is what it looks like on cardstock. And often it shows up better when you use foil. So there it is on foil. And then here is the splatter one on cardstock. And then here it is on the foil. So again, beautiful, great embossing folders. So in case you missed it, I wanted to show you that. There was a set like this in the annual catalog, the Dotty Hearts, that I missed until very recently. And how many times have I been through the annual catalog? These greetings are just fun to read and to use. This has so much potential. And then this, you've seen me use a few times because we got this set again early. And I absolutely love it. I love the feel of it. I love the words. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. And isn't that so true? Now I've shown you some samples of it, but I want to show one more. So here is one with a neat fold like that. So it's just black and white. So I did that for a card swap. So that's where that came from. Another gorgeous suite. It's got a different look altogether. Each one of the designer papers has a wood type of wood grain on the back, and very, very pretty paper. It's another mega suite. So it has two bundles that work together that you can buy on your own, but they do work well together. So let me just talk you through some of the things here. One is the Honeycomb embossing folder, and I've got it on so many samples. I'm just going to show you on one of the samples. So here it is right here. It's a gorgeous embossing folders, and this is one of your favorites, Linda. Oh, neat. Then maybe you'll even see some more samples here. So a really neat embossing folder there. This ribbon, we had this denim ribbon a few years ago, and it's come back. It was so popular. So it's a denim ribbon that is soft, easy to use, and looks gorgeous with this suite of products. Let me see, number 5. I'm running out of I can't remember my words here. Classic matte dots. These are black and gray and white and vanilla, and they're just great. They're basically what they say, classic. You can use them on pretty much everything. So a couple of other samples from this suite of projects. There's the doilies. Here's one using the stamp set, and then there's the die that cuts out this big one here, bit of the ribbon, some of the classic matte dots used there. Here's one, I think this one's from you, Linda, you're watching tonight. And again, used the Honeycomb here. She's used the other stamp set and dies from the Mega Suite, and the ribbon, and some of the brushed metallic from that carried over from the other catalog. And one more here. This one's got the doilies here. Now the doilies, like all the other doilies, are white on the other side. So if you want, you can change them up and make it whatever color you want. Now I wanted just to point out this. Memories and More, the cards are easy to pop onto a card front, and you've got cards, or you can scrapbook with them, but then they often have cards and envelopes that go with them or go with the suite. You don't have to have this to use this, or vice versa. But I do have some of these, and I wanted to show them to you because I think they are particularly beautiful. They come, and there are 2 sizes. So let's just see here. I've got everything kind of tangled together. They come all flat, and then when you take them out, there is this little mini one, and it would be like that. It's already scored. All you have to do is fold it, and you can do something in the inside. You can just stamp or put a little something on the outside, and then there's an envelope to go with it. So you can have a really quick little card set. Now let me just bring in a regular card. So here's the regular size card. So this card is just that much smaller. So that's how that works. So there's this size, And then there is this size. So this is the envelope. It's got the nice stripe on it. It's a Misty Moonlight envelope, and then it would have come flat, and then it's scored, ready for you just to fold, to decorate and use. And this, when you put it next to a regular size card, it's the same width, but it's a little bit longer. So if I put the bottom, it's about 3/4 of an inch to an inch longer. So that's how it goes. So remember, this is also found in some of this designer paper. And look at, if you cut some of that out and put it like that, or you could have it going like that. Oh, I think it's just so pretty. And it's a quick and easy way to make some great cards. So I'm rambling here, so let's go on. So these are close-ups of those bundles. And then there's all kinds of fun things here. I just want to point out this little hedgehog. This bundle is a punch and a stamp set, and I have a fun little card that I got from Karina Chin. So, and I really like how she did this here. She's got the tree growing up the middle here. So, just lots of fun there. And I'm sorry, but I have to stop and move a few things, or I am going to have an avalanche. There we go. And something else that you might want to be aware of is these are a new style of masks. Now, we've done masks a bit, you know, where you can sponge or put embossing paste or whatever, but these you can sponge in a light color and then put this over top and sponge in a darker color, and you've got your 2 layers all happening at once, and that's happening with these. So they're a new style, and lots of people have fallen in love with them. Now, this little cactus bundle has also been very popular, and I do have a sample here. This is from Trisha, I don't know how to say her last name, Shelo, something like that. But she's used the gingham embossing folder, that's from the front of the book. She's used the hexagon and the these are from the front as well, and just made a really fun card there. So let's continue on. I love this. This I've shown you. Just a heads up, remember, if you weren't there when I showed before, it looks bluer here than it does in real life. In real life, this one is a little bit more of a greeny blue, but it's so light. The fun thing is you can actually color it different colors as well. So this is about all I have left of these 2 colors. The gorgeous supple shimmer paper. So there we go, right there. And going right along, here is a fun suite. Can you see this being used with that baseball cap that I was in love with? So this right here is cut right out of from the paper. Great ticket and banner types of dies. You've got some baker's twine, some stars, all kinds of fun things. Here is again a punch. So it's a sailboat punch and the sailboat stamp set. But this sailboat also could be a Gulf tee, or not a Gulf tee. You know, when they're on the green and they want to, where the hole is, and this can look like golf balls. Oh, on the greens. Can't even think. You know what I mean, right? And then I wanted to point out this page too, because I got a beautiful sample from Karen Gardner. This one here. So this is a distinctive set. So if you got your light and dark, all she did was stamp that once. Sending birthday wishes is from here. It's again a simple card, but it is definitely a wow. Pin. Oh, thank you, Linda. The golf pin. Thank you. I knew I should know. My husband's a golfer, you'd think. But no, I blank out when I'm yattering away, and he just rolls his eyes. So, yeah, thank you. And then we just continue on. And you know how, well, and then there's some things that are carrying over from the last catalog. So do be aware of that. Some of those things are still available. I think maybe the thing that I love the most about this catalog is the index. The index shows everything, so you can catch things here that you might have missed before. Plus, it's in alphabetical order. So if I do happen to know the name of something, I can find it quickly. It also gives you extra samples. So that is the bonus. So they have the bundles here. And then it goes to the stamp sets and the dies. But this is the page that I find invaluable. This is where I found that those embossing folders that I had totally missed. I had missed the cloud punch somehow or other. So there are things on here that I missed in the catalog, and then they give the page number, so then I go back and have a look-see. So remember I said that shiny paper on the thanks? That was the mother of pearl specialty paper, and I could go back and look there. Now we're nearly done, but I just want to show you a couple of more pages. This just makes me happy to look at. And right here, always in all of our catalogs, there are what are called hostess rewards. So you can earn if you spend yourself, or if you gather friends' orders. Once you reach the $200 mark, you get Stampin' rewards. And so you get 10% of $200 and so on, the little chart. Also, when you're hosting a party and doing it for yourself, you get a steep discount on any of the stamp sets that are listed right here. Do you have to buy them? No, but you are then offered the opportunity to buy them basically at pretty close to half price. And so these are really two really gorgeous, gorgeous stamp sets. The other thing is when you reach $375, there's a special deal in Celebration. So do check that Celebration catalog, and because you get an extra free stamp set, and I'm going to talk about that on Thursday. And then here they show the artists working on some of the pictures that they did for that. So I am wondering what is at the top of your list, maybe, or even more so, what would you like me to show? Or is there anything you would like me to feature in upcoming Facebook Lives, or in classes, or that kind of thing? And I forgot to show one card, so hang in there. Remember, one of the hostess sets here was the cute little mischievous mice. Well, I received this card from Diana, and here's the little mouse on here. And then when you open it up, there they are again. Just love that card. So thank you so much, Diana. So let me know, is there something in here you would like me to feature, to teach, to show, that kind of thing? The other thing is, if you are in love with this catalog, one of the bonuses of attending Stamping Staycation is we show you some of the new stuff in action. Now remember, you don't have to have the new stuff to take advantage of the projects at Stamping Staycation, but you do get to see them in a little more close-up action than you do other times. So don't forget, Stamping Staycation is, as my husband reminded me, it's less than 2 weeks away. Can't wait. So make sure you get your registration in. I will put the link in the description once this is over. So, Karen, yes, I love how we can help each other find things in the catalog. And remember, if you're wanting to see some of the things and you don't have a catalog, I can easily get you one if you contact me. Or you can go to my website and click on, there's a catalog there you can look through, or you can click on Shop Now and look at the products that way. If you want to shop online and your order is less than $200, I would love it if you would use the hostess code. If it's more than $200, you're going to get the hostess benefits. So enjoy that. So, you're excited for staycation, Catherine? Yay, so am I. We're just putting the final touches on it, and Marilyn and Joanne and I had a Zoom meeting this morning. It was pretty exciting. So thank you so much. Remember, do leave a comment, and I will choose one of the cards that I showcased tonight for the random draw for next week. If you're watching on YouTube, remember, please hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for all the positive feedback, and let me know what you like and what you want to see. All right. Thank you so much. Have fun. Bye-bye.